Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. We're doing it on Friday, April the 25th, 2025. If you're just joining me today, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you like. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to physically, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you wherever you are in and around the world. If you're tuning in from Canada, Wagwan, mi familia, down south in the United States of the Americas. Further down south, Mexico, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia's. All around the world. The continents that are splitting. Africa, maybe splitting into India, not a continent, but also maybe splitting into two. Who knows? Could it be a little bit of the magmas, the super volcanoes working underneath the earth little by little? Every continent's got one. What are your thoughts about them? What if they explode today? Or what if they don't? What if everything's gooch? What if everything's fine forever? Nothing ever happens. But it is mysterious how every continent has one, and it's crazy if they erupt. But nonetheless, you need to relax. You need to calm down, remain cool, calm, and collected, because they're okay. They're all the way over there, man. Don't worry about it. Super volcanoes. How about we get a couple of fellows to piss in them, just to kind of like cool things down a little bit. If it's too hot, I've always said if it's too hot, add a little bit of heat. To fight heat, like with warm piss is what I'm talking about. Like, dilute it, because the magma's already really hot. But if you add warm piss, or cool piss, actually, that'd probably be better. Cool your piss. Piss in a cup. Get a couple of fellas over the volcano and just like piss in a cup, hold it, blow on it, dump it in there, cool it. That's one of the methods. Or we can drill holes and just alleviate a little bit of the magma, the lava. God, I love lava and magma. It's so tempting to just lick it. It looks really good. Don't, of course, but also do, because it looks like hot candy, melted candy. And that's neither here or there. What have we been talking about? We're all over the place, as per usual. It is Friday. Thank you for joining me. Let's get a sip of this bad boy. Lots to discuss, ladies and gents. Lots to discuss, but first and foremost, let's get the most important stuff out of the way first and foremost. Please, if we can together. People's questions are crazy out there. How do I get her to properly squirt in my mouth? That's what you're asking out there. I'm glad you asked. Thank you. I will do my very best. Of course, I don't have the answers, but we will work them out together. How to have her squirt in my mouth is your question. You want to get all the squirt in your mouth. I get it. Been there. It is not a task you want to just get up and try to tackle all at once. No, it's okay. It'll take many steps. Give yourself plenty of time, because it isn't that you're like, yeah, I've gotten her to squirt. She can squirt on her own. That's fine. But the task is, how do I get it all in my mouth? That's the most important thing. You're asking that question, and I'm here to assist you. Let's break it down. First of all, what is squirting anyway? If we were to break it down, what is the act of squirting? No one really knows. It is mysterious. How does it happen? Again, scientists are trying their best to figure it out, but they've yet to come up with an answer. Is it a separate liquid from urine, or is it urine? Or is it a mixture of some other liquid with piss? No one really knows, but we're all fans of it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a separate from experience. From personal experience, I'll say it's different from piss. It's not, piss is piss, piss, but you've seen squirt. Squirt is clear. It's mostly clear, almost clear. Sometimes it's got a little hint of, yellow in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and if I were to put money on, is it piss or just a different liquid? You should have figured it out by now if it's not. I'm gonna say it's a different liquid. I don't care what people say. Some people might say it's just whatever. I like the whole, it's a fountain, it's working. It's like a spout, it's like a squirt gun, but females have them, which is nice. But your goal is to get as much of it in your mouth as possible, and that is not always an easy task. I will say, start from, give yourself a little bit of distance first. You got to see what kind of squirter you're working with. If it happens to be like a stream, a steady stream, you might be able to give yourself a little bit of distance. You might be able to give yourself a few feet of space, just so if she squirts from across the room in your mouth, you can say like you're at the dentist, or getting ready to down a whole ice cream cone in one shot, just like that. Say say cheese, whatever you like, but stay a few feet apart. As she squirts, try to catch all the droplets in your mouth. If it's a steady stream, it's an easier task to do this. Now, mind you, not everybody has that steady stream. Sometimes women's squirting does go all over the place. Mind the gap. This is what I've done with my time. I've researched, because I'm like, how do we get every particle of water, squirt, urine, whatever you want to, how do we get all of it in our mouth? Close the gap. The closer you are to the puss, the higher your chances of attaining all the droplets and not letting anything go to waste. So please remember, it is okay to give yourself a little bit of distance, but if you're finding it difficult to get every bit of liquid in your mouth, the problem is probably within the distance. Close the gap, get closer. What I'd like you to do is ultimately, if you want to ensure you're getting every bit, every drop, when she's going off, stick your mouth right on top of her puss, mouth, right there, like a suction cup. Stick it right there, do not move, do not adjust, and she might need you to like move a little bit so she can work the clit a little bit more as she's squirting. It doesn't matter, as long as your mouth is covering the hole, you can probably capture all the droplets. Are you gonna get every drop? That's the challenge of it. That's really, when you think about it from both a scientific perspective, but also aesthetically, if it's meant to be that way so you capture every droplet, the closer you are, the higher your chances. Have we made products to make your life a little bit easier? Of course we have. You know us and products. You know how there are funnels for baking, for cooking, for being a chocolatier, for putting oil in your car. We took that same technology, did a little bit of adjustment, made it so that it fit perfectly fine to any puss. It's a one size fits all little funnel that goes on top of the puss. As soon as the puss starts to squirt, place the funnel on top of the squirt and then go ahead and suck the rest of it out from the end, of course. You could try other methods. You could try cupping it first. You could use both hands, or if you got, if you got one hand, you can cup it in one hand and then just, you know how you used to drink water at the water fountain when you were a kid at school? They had water fountains, and sometimes you'd see people that use the palm of their hands to get the water inside their mouth. They were the palm to mouth water drinkers. Those fellows or gals. You could use that technique as well. You could just get a large cup or a bowl, collect the cup, rather get the bowl, get the cup, collect the urine or piss or squirt in the bowl or cup, then drink from that, and you'd get all of it inside your mouth. You could get a squirt gun. You could get a squirt gun. As soon as she starts squirting, fill up the reservoir with her squirt, and then go ahead and directly shoot that squirt gun in your mouth. That way you won't miss a drop. So these are just a few methods that I've thought about. Of course, you could climb on top of a large or a tall building, maybe have her on a penthouse floor. You stand on the ground, have her squirt, and try to catch all the droplets from the bottom. Looking up, that's always plausible as well. Of course, there's, you got to take into consideration, like, is it a windy day? If it's windy, I don't necessarily recommend that unless you got good foot game, unless you're willing to put on a little bit of, if you're willing to move around a little bit. I'm not going to say you're going to catch all the droplets, but you'll catch most of them. Another method is if she is on top of some sort of a building, or, maybe she's in an airplane, in a bathroom airplane, and she squirts and she lets it all out. Somehow she manages to let it all out of an airplane. You're on the ground. I would say get some sort of blanket. If you know the proximity of where she's going to be squirting, you can capture all the squirt in a blanket, then squeeze the blanket into a cup or a bowl, drink all of the squirt, and that is how you get all the squirt in your mouth. My personal method is, I always recommend, just stick your mouth right on top of the puss as close as possible. Do not let go, drink it all up. That's probably the best method. I'm not gonna say it's the only method. Of course, if you have any recommendations that you'd like to share from experience, please leave a comment. If you've practiced by yourself, if you practice with, a lover, family members, if you've seen parentals doing it and they've got a method that's a little bit, oh man, I didn't even know this was a thing. Maybe they did something a little bit different in the 70s, 80s, 90s, who knows? Early 2000s, depending how old your parents are. Nonetheless, this is how we do it together. It's just cooperation, teamwork, a little bit of just having each other's backs. So I hope you can use these to your advantage and make your life a little bit better in that sense. We're doing it together, ladies and gents. God, that feels good. That coffee's good right there. Hits you right there. What else is going on? Lots of stuff is taking place all around the world, and we'll get to them. But before we do, I do want to just say that a lot of people talk about practicing safe sex, of course. A lot of people say that, oh, you got to practice safe sex. You've never really seen it though, have you? People always say, oh, it's better to have safe sex. Where are these people who are having the so-called safe sex? Where are these guys and gals getting the safes from? Excuse me, if I'm not mistaken, last time that I checked, safes or vaults, majority of them are in banks. Majority of these safes are in banks. That's just from life experience. That's from doing a little bit of research, putting a little bit of time and effort. Last I checked, safes happen to be in financial institutions. So these people who proclaim that you should be having safe sex, first of all, not all people have access to the safes in these financial institutions. Last I checked, the most a person could wish for is to do a little bit of financial transaction in these banks, these financial institutions. So I don't know how you're going about perpetuating these notions of people having safe sex, vault sex. A little bit strange, a little bit odd, I'm not gonna lie to you. Am I a fan of it? Of course. If it makes you happy, please practice safe sex. I don't know how you're gonna do it. It is an object after all, but then again, we have seen throughout the years, throughout our history, our collective history, people have had sex with literally everything, whether it's just humans, we've seen animal iterations, objects are definitely not off the table. So I get it, safe sex, people always proclaim that it's best to practice safe sex, but then again, I'm asking from a genuine point of curiosity, if you will, how are you getting access to these banks? How are you forming these relationships that they're letting you go into these safes, the vaults, and have safe sex? Now, are you getting yourself mixed up with the money that's in there? Are you utilizing the potential jewelry, bars of gold, silver, bronze, precious metals, paintings? Are you getting yourself involved with these items that are in the safe? Because I've not yet heard of any of the people who proclaim that this is the best method to go out and utilize these objects that are in the safe. You've always heard safe sex, but am I missing something here? I'm just a little bit, how do you ask the bank manager? Do they just give you access to the code so that you can go inside of do you go inside the vault? Do you get inside the large safe that's in the bank and have safe sex there? Do you close the door behind you? Because what if other people walk by, see you, hear you? What if you allow robbers, thieves, hooligans to come in and take money, goods, valuable goods that people have safely stored in these safety deposit boxes, and all you want to think about is just getting your kicks? All right, so a little bit selfish from where I'm standing, from where I'm looking at it. Not all people have access to these banks and institutions. I'm not sure how you're supposed to get access to these vaults, these safety boxes, but on a bright side of things, I have looked online, and apparently there are smaller safes that you could purchase from different websites. So you could have safe sex potentially at home. They are smaller though, and I'm still not quite sure how it works, because when people do say safe sex, you immediately think must be a large vault where they go inside it, maybe close. And how do you even get inside? Again, the code is one thing. What if there are no bank managers there? Do you have to bribe the bank manager to let you in? Do you find somebody else who's just like an understudy who works but is not yet have got, they don't have all the access, but low-key they might have grabbed the manager's access card. Who knows? Maybe nobody's even giving you the code. Is that part of the challenge that you are supposed to go? Are you working with a digital safe? How many attempts do you get to put in the right code in order to get access to inside of the safe so you can practice safe sex? These are all the questions that I'm just thinking about, and I'm pretty sure you've thought about them as well. Is it analog? Is it old school? Do you got to go listen, click, 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 righty, lefty, 37, 25, 21. And again, what is it with these safes that gets you going? I'm not judging it, but it is peculiar. Now, the smaller safes, I'm not even sure you're gonna fit inside those. They're, you know, maybe about a foot wide, a foot long, that's, some of them are a little bit larger, 2 feet long, 2 feet wide, What you still can't, most people can't physically afford to fit inside these safes. So people say practice safe sex. Do you grind on top of it? Is it just for formalities to have it around? Is it is it the sharp edges of the safe that gets you going? Do you just rub your cock or do you open the safe, slam your cock between the safe's door, and is that how you get your kicks? Does she rub her clit on top of these sharp edges of these safe boxes? Like what? I'm just a little confused as a full-blown human adult. Just a little confused. But again, I am glad to see that people are always talking about it. Of course you should. Yeah, definitely do. I'm not saying don't. I'm not going to be the guy that says don't practice safe. So I'm not going to say how you're going to get access to these safes, but it's a challenge, and we together collectively accept challenges, ladies and gents. It's just a little confusing. Just a little clarity would be nice. We're yet to see people, I'm sure maybe in a couple of movies, maybe I've seen people have sex in safes, but I'd like to see more. People, you talk the talk, you gotta walk the walk too. So a little bit of show and tell wouldn't hurt. Trying to spread the message of safe sex. All you do is talk about it, yet you've misled people by not showing it. So probably it'd be best to, utilize these safes in some sex scenes next time you're talking about it. Let's say you're in love, ladies and gents, and I get it. It's a beautiful feeling. You're in love. It's fantastic. And you wish nothing more to make sure your love is strong and your bond is tight and you stay together for a really long time, hopefully till you both die simultaneously, which is that's like the best case scenario. So I wish that for you. I hope you live a long life with your lover and you die together. That's the ultimate goal, I think. One of the top 5 ultimate goals. But in the meantime, while you're out there doing your thing, going about your day, taking care of business, attending to your chores, your duties, your job, meetings, friends, family, acquaintances, all this, that, and the other, sometimes being together, sometimes being separate from one another, how do you ensure that your lover stays committed to the relationship? Thought about this extremely hard. Many a days, many a nights I went without sleeping, without eating, without blinking, without pissing, without taking a shit. I did that because that's the type of sacrifice I make for this show and our family together. And I came up with a wonderful resolution. I thought about it. I'm like, what is one of those things that, typically when most people come across it, kind of disgusts them? What disgusts most people? What can't people really take that much? And I said to myself again, after many long nights and days, it's skunk ass. Whenever you're driving by or walking by, or you've left your window open and a skunk happens to just, walk by and squirt a little bit of his or her juices, it just takes over the entire neighborhood. It smells like skunk ass, as we all know. And everybody to a certain degree is a little bit disgusted, which is why I thought about it. I'm like, man, if nobody likes skunk ass or skunk juice, why not take that technology, utilize it on our lovers, on our partners, so that they are never tempting anyone to come close to them. Simply grab a skunk is what I want you to do. Attach the skunk to your partners and yourselves, speaking directly to your genitals, that is. Directly attach the skunk. You don't do anything to obviously harm these animals. They're precious, despite the fact that they smell horrific. Attach them, maybe with a little leash. Feed them time and again, but make sure they are close to your genitalia, to your partner's genitalia. That way, your partner's genitalia, your own genitalia is always smelling like skunk juice. That way, there is hardly any chance anybody's going to be approaching your lover or you yourself and trying to make any sort of, oh, I'm sorry, oh my goodness, they'll say, what is this horrible smell? And you can just open your legs wide and sit there comfortably saying, you know what, I'm in a committed relationship, fella. I'm in a committed relationship, ma'am. So please, for the ladies, of course, it is much easier because you are working with the vagina, which is obviously it's a hot pocket. You could easily put a couple of snacks inside your vagina, put the skunk up there, let it do its thing. Every now and again, do take it for walks. Fellas, I do recommend you get a leash, and then at the end of the leash, attach it to a cock ring. Attach the cock ring to a leash, a short leash. You don't want it to be walking away, like have it near your leg. Again, the point is to have the skunk close to your genitals so that your cock smells like skunk ass. You're welcome, of course. This will ensure that you and your lover stay fully committed until, again, death do you part. And I wish that for everybody out there. Skunks are available. Do not harm these animals. I recommend you use one for some time, but then release it into the wild because that's probably where they're meant to be. But get another one after that. And you're like, how do I cope with the smell of the skunk on my partner's genitalia and my own genitalia? How do I cope with it? That's a question you really got to look deep within inside yourself to be able to answer. And how strong is your love? That's really the key question you should be asking yourself. If you can't stand your own genitalia or your lover's genitalia smelling like skunk, well, perhaps they're not the person for you. All right, so problems, solutions. Everything could be remedied if we work at it together, that is. I'm a little bit, this one, I'm not gonna say I'm ticked off. I'm a little cheesed. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'll keep it real with you as I've always have. People say, oh, so-and-so's got, kidney stones. Such and such has kidney stones. Jim's got kidney stones. Tracy's got kidney stones. We're waiting for them to pass the kidney stones. They'll say that. I just want to let it be known out there. If you happen to have these kidney stones and people are waiting for you and you yourself are waiting to pass them through, why don't you go ahead and actually pass them to somebody else? Because I've yet to see anybody with kidney stones actually pass the kidney stones to someone else. It is a little bit of a selfish move. It is a little bit, kind of like always thinking about yourself sort of situation. You're like, because you say it, I've got this kidney stone. It's this kidney stone's so good. I can't wait to pass it. And people are like, we can't wait for you to pass it. But most people don't pass it along. Most people just keep it to themselves or get rid of it. So this passing of the kidney stone, really, it's one of those topics that hardly gets talked about. But I'm here to shine that light on the subject matter together. Next time you are gifted with a kidney stone and you want to pass it, fella, lady, why don't you go out and find somebody else who's in need of a kidney stone so you could actually pass the kidney stone to them. Quit being so selfish. Quit being so, crabs in a bucket mentality. This kidney stone, nobody deserves it. Nobody can't really ask for it. If it happens, you get one, you get one. But when it comes to passing it, we do have that ability to pass it along to a friend, a family member, a lover, a cousin, a stranger even. Strangers are distant family members. So next time you're about to, quote unquote, pass this kidney stone, that fella who walked by and you bumped into him the other day, all right? Maybe he needs a kidney stone. Ever think about him in his life? Ever put yourself in his shoes? That lady who was slumped over a shopping cart in the parking lot of the local grocery store. Maybe she needs a kidney stone. It's best to not even ask because most of us do need it. Most of us do want it. But most of us don't know how to get it. Most of us think that we're all alone out there. Most of us think that, gee, well, I'm not going to be that lucky. I guess Frank is just he's got that kind of luck. Frank's that kind of fella. He can have the kidney stones. I wonder who he'll pass it to. He's been talking about it. He's going to pass it to someone. I wonder, it's probably not going to be me. Why not? Why not, ladies and gentlemen? Find somebody, it doesn't matter, male, female, attach your genitals directly to their genitals. As soon as the passing begins, pass the actual kidney stones to somebody else's urethra. Well, I don't care if it's through a dick hole. I don't care if it's through the vaginal opening. This is not the time to stand here and pay attention to the minor details and get distracted from the bigger picture, which is really just passing. And what is passing, if not another word for simply sharing? Do not be a kidney stone hog. Do not be that guy or gal who's got all the stones to themselves and refuses to go dick to dick, go dick to puss, go puss to puss, refuses to share and be a part of a community. So next time you say, oh, I'm about to pass the kidney stone, why don't you go ahead and actually commit and pass the goddamn kidney stone instead of just saying it and hoping that we'd all buy your story and never look into it, and hardly anybody ever does, because how can anybody really take the time to figure out if Lucy's actually passed the kidney stones? I get it, you're busy out there with your own responsibilities, with your own duties, with your own lives out there. How could you ensure that Lucy's passed her kidney stone? You're not gonna look into it. But guess what? We all know Lucy never passed her kidney stones, ladies and gentlemen. So please, make a decision. If you say you're gonna do something, actually do it. If you're not gonna pass the kidney stones, quit talking about it, quit showing off with your stones, and quit teasing motherfuckers out there. Sorry, ladies and gents, it was just, I know. You're welcome. Again, it's probably one of those topics that you're like, oh, we're so glad somebody finally talked about it. I had to. As if I had a choice. As if any of us had a choice. What's going on in and around the world? Like I said, we will get into it, but one step at a time, of course. Great innovations and inventions have been made throughout history, and now we've added another one to our collective collection of things that we've invented together as a group of human beings, or science and artisans, whatever you want to call us, creators, manipulators of matter, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But a group of scientists once again got together and developed a 3D hologram that you can touch, physically touch the hologram. We've had the pop-ups that are just images, but now they're 3D and you can actually interact with them, get in there, move pieces around. The future is now. This is one of the most exciting times to be living in. I'm just so glad to have been a part of this particular invention as well, just like many other inventions that I'm a part of. And yes, we will keep pushing the boundaries on the envelopes. I myself have put an idea forward that I think will come out and be very fruitful. I call it Starbutts. It's very similar to Starbucks, except that it has nothing to do with coffee, and rather it focuses on stars and butts. And we merged that with the 3D holograms. Essentially, down the line in a couple of years, my hope is to be able to give the masses access to stars, butts, and 3D holograms, of course. Ever wonder, oh, I wish I could have my way with fill in the blank. Whoever your favorite celebrity, star, athlete, singer, dancer, entrepreneur, a politician, whoever you look up to, a spiritual figure, whoever you happen to look, whoever is a star to you. Oftentimes we walk around and say, my God, I wish I could have my way with that star's butt. Well, gone are the days of just wishful thinking. It's 2025, baby. And that's why we're taking the steps to give you Starbutts with 3D holograms. Fill in the blank. It'll appear within your vicinity. And you can touch it, you can manipulate it, you can play around with it, you can poke it, you can spit on it, you could turn it, you could open it up, you You do whatever you want with it. It's called Star Butts. We are hoping to go ahead and accumulate as many stars as possible. Again, I'm talking world of athletics, I'm talking movie stars, dancers, producers, whoever you think of. Even down the line, of course, this will open up to the average common man as well, because that's where the masses are, that's where the numbers are. But we do want to start out with star butts, giving you access to celebrity butts. So please stay tuned. We are working hard on it, but if you have a particular favorite celebrity that you'd like to get access to their hologram and just 3D manipulate that asshole, vag, titty, whatever you like, we are working on it one step at a time. If you have any requests, leave it in the comments. Who would you like to, have your way with? Again, this will be available to the public. I'm hoping by 2027. We are very excited at the manufacturing facilities, and we are working on it tirelessly. I have ensured that our workers do not get any sleep. We don't feed them that much. I've actually gone ahead and taken away all their forms of contact from the outside world, because I've noticed people work decent when they can have access to, a little bit of food, a little bit of pay, a little bit of sleep, a little bit of leisurely activity time and extracurricular activities. But I've also noticed that if you kind of isolate these workers and really come down on them hard enough, put pressure on them, maybe dim the lights, maybe shut off the electrical work every once in a while. Oh, the AC, when are we gonna get that fixed? As soon as you finish the goddamn project, now get back to work. Yes, they're all in undisclosed locations. You do not need to worry about them. They're doing okay. But most importantly, they're focusing on building star butts so that we can come and offer you what you've been seeking all your life, access to stars butts. We're doing it together, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very proud of this. You're wondering out there, how do I take my 69 game and take it up a notch to the next level? How do I go ahead and make 69, as good as it is, a little bit better? Believe it or not, it's actually a simple method. It comes down to actually utilizing one simple item that's in your kitchen, most likely right now, and if not right now, probably in a few days, and if not in a few days, maybe in a few weeks, and if not in a few weeks, then maybe in a few months. Down the line, at one point or another, you're gonna get this item in your refrigerator. I'm talking about spicy hot sauce. Both men and women have come together and collectively raised their voices. They said together that we love hot sauce, and when we are getting head, when we're eating puss, when we're pleasuring our lovers, when we are giving head, when we've got that cock in our mouth, nothing turns our lovers on more than spicy hot sauce. So if you're wondering, how do I turn my 69 experience into something a little bit more exciting, into something that gives it a little bit of a oomph, if you will, down a whole bottle of spice or hot sauce, whatever you're into. The spicier, the better. Then go down on your partner. That way, you ensure that they're getting the full-blown experience of the 69. Really douse yourself in as much hot sauce as possible. And I know the common belief is that, just stick with the basics. But again, we are talking about those individuals who like to, take it up a notch a little bit. And believe you me, most people say, no, I don't want that burning sensation on my genitals. I get it. You feel like the odd man or odd woman out. You don't want to be the first person who's saying, hey, maybe that spicy hot sauce is feeling kind of nice on my nuts, is kind of burning inside my vulva, but I low-key like it, because you don't want to be the odd lady out, and I get it. But the silent majority speaks today, and you're not alone. So please, if you are wondering out there, how do I enhance my 69 game, please drink a lot of hot sauce, go down on your partner, and the more they say it burns, the more you're tearing from the eyes, and the more they're tearing from the eyes, the more it indicates that deep down inside there is an inherent desire to consume a lot of hot sauce, and go down on your partner. If it burns, it's working. If it's causing irritation or you're getting some sort of, feeling of discomfort, it also means it's working. So keep going, and that is just one way of enhancing your 69 game. We do tackle a lot of questions, a lot of hard-hitting questions around here together. I know. Feels good to be of service. Doing my little thing, us doing our little thing together, it feels good. A lot of people do enjoy giving head, eating puss in the shower. A lot of people happen to pick up injuries in the shower whilst giving head, whilst eating puss. How does it happen? You're down there, she is standing up, or he is standing up, and the water is hitting you right in the face. You're knelt down on knees perhaps, or maybe you got some sort of seating arrangement in your bathtub, or maybe it's a walk-in shower. I don't know what kind of configuration you're working with, but nonetheless, water is hitting you right in the face, and you're enjoying eating her out. She's enjoying it, of course, or you're enjoying giving him head, and then he's enjoying it, of course. But that water pressure on your face, the constant right there, the water pressure right in your face, takes a little bit away from that enjoyment, doesn't it? It does, it certainly does. Takes what could be a 10 out of 10 experience and lowers it, we all know, and lowers it a little bit, maybe down to an 8, 7, depending on the water temperature. Maybe it's too hot, maybe it's too cold. Who knows? But nonetheless, nobody likes water in their eyes unless you're some sort of, you are some sort of psychopath who likes water in their eyes, or maybe you're just like comfortable with water in your eyes, or maybe your eyes are dehydrated, in which case you're not a psychopath. You just probably need to keep hydrated a little bit more. Maybe you are an avid swimmer who enjoys going eyes wide open when you're in the shower, just stare into the stream of water. But nonetheless, most people do find it annoying, and most people want to have a better experience, which is why I invented smaller miniature umbrellas you could take into the shower with you. Mini umbrellas, as we like to call them, or tiny umbrellas as people are talking about it on the street. These tiny umbrellas allow you to actually alleviate the pain of getting water all over your face whilst giving your baby boy or baby gal sloppy toppy. So you're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I did find this topic a little bit challenging because we had to work around things. We had to say, what are people willing to do? What are people willing to bring into their lifestyle that is not cumbersome? What is something that's not going to get in the way of the actual activity that is fellatio? And we figured it out. It just had a little bit of figuring out to do, but that's not anything we're ever scared of. That's not the sort of challenge that we look at and say, no, we can't do it. We can't, this is a problem too big. There's never a problem too big. There's always a solution, and you're welcome. Tiny umbrellas will allow you to give head to anybody in the shower without the traumatic experience of, oh my God, there's all water in my eyes. How could I go on? How could we go on together? You'll say that. You will storm out of the shower, and maybe he came, maybe she came, or maybe she didn't. Maybe she just said she did. She couldn't take looking at your traumatized face for one more minute. Maybe she said she came, but she really didn't. But now she can. But now she can. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe RFK Jr. is fighting autism. I think I've heard some stuff. I don't know what's going on. I just want to say that I'm fighting autism on a level that's never been fought or tackled before. We do need to look at the reasons as to why there are so many retarded children out there. If you really look at the cause of the matter, it is a mystery of how do we go about finding the root cause of autism. I do have a few questions to ask. The majority of them are, could it be the food dyes? It could be the food dyes. He's looking into it. What's causing the children to be more retarded these days? Do we have more retarded kids now, or did we always have the same amount of retarded children? What is the cause of all these retardations? All I want to do is get you to be more healthy and perhaps work out a little bit more. So take out the food dye out of the food and get you to exercise a little bit. And perhaps it wouldn't fucking hurt to skip a couple of shots here and there, but who knows? We're gonna have to take a look and see what the major causes of autism are and ask ourselves, why do we have so many retards? Perhaps we could make a game out of it, make it a game. Is it retarded? Are you retarded? The game. We're contestants get in there and focus on figuring out whether they're retarded or not. And from my experience, I'd say from interacting with a lot of people, I've realized most people to a certain degree are retarded. Can really blame them, of course. We're spinning in midair on a little marble with so many things coming at you, whether it's the plastics in the water or the food or the vaccines. If I'm just trying to figure out, and I don't know why people are reacting the way they are reacting, but you gotta figure out why there are so many retarded people out there. It's important that we do find the cause. It is important, isn't it? It's good to have somebody out there looking for the answers. What is it? What is it? Who knows? Are you retarded? The game. Find out if you're retarded today. Go find under it. I want to know if I'm retarded or not, and we'll figure it out together. In the meantime, just stay tuned and good luck getting any food with the actual food dye inside of it. The food is going to be colored horribly moving forward. No more vibrant colors in your food. The strawberry colored breakfast cereal that she used to eat is not going to have that kind of food coloring inside of it. It's going to be a little bit less strawberry-esque, if you will, but it'll still taste the same. Half the colors, twice the nutrients. People working out, looking and sounding healthy like me. Okay, maybe looking like me, maybe not sounding like me, but definitely looking like me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to see what's going on. Who knows what the causes of autism are? I don't know. Are there more retards today than there were before? Do we still have the same amount of retarded people? I kind of fall in the category. I find myself falling in the camp of I do believe most of us, to varying degrees, are on a spectrum of something. Could it be? I don't know. Are we over prescribing people? Are we over analyzing things? Are we over? Are we working with over or under? Is it, is it a case of over diagnoses or under diagnoses? I just want to figure out what it is that makes these kids so retarded today. It's good to look into things. All right? I'm on board for looking into things. Could we use maybe a couple of less shots? Maybe we could. Who knows? But if the research comes out and says otherwise, I'm always open to, let's figure out what the truth is. Let's, instead of jumping on people's necks and say, all this. Let's work together. I too want to know what it is. Do we have more retarded people today or less retarded people today? Do we have more awareness? Is it better to have more awareness? Did it benefit them? If you're retarded, like you gotta, because then the retarded or not, that should be the name of the game. Retarded or not, figure it out and get on with your life. Make sure you get paid, though. There's no point of being retarded if you're not making money out of it. Think about it, really. If there's no benefit, why would you want to opt in and put a label on yourself and be retarded if it's just a mild case of mental retardation, physical retardation? Who knows what it is? What I'm just saying before you fully commit and do the research. Let's do the research. Ladies and gents. Would I rather get a body part amputated or have somebody sewn to me? Body part amputated or get another person sewn to me. It's interesting, Losing a body part, I'm not down for it, to be honest with you. I'm not down for losing it. If it was a gun to my head, katana to my nutsack, losing a body part doesn't sound all that great. So I will opt for sew another person to me. Now, will it? Yeah, because I don't want to walk around with, ideally I'd like to keep all my limbs. And if somebody were to be sewn on top of you or to your side, or to your back, you're gonna have to figure out how that's gonna work. But nonetheless, it would be an extra person, more person. It'd be more of you. It'd be more of you, which is actually pretty nice. Because maybe you divide up your tasks, your responsibilities, kind of help each other out. Two people. It's better to get somebody sewn on top of you or to your side than have a body part amputated. That's what I'm opting for. If there was an option, if again, it's gun to your head, you had to pick. You're completely healthy, it doesn't matter. It's just a real life, hypothetical, but also very plausible, realistic situation. If you had to choose to save lives out there, millions of people are depending on you, make a choice. The arms coming off or you're getting attached to another person permanently, I'll roll the dice with the extra person. I will go, I'll do it from the side. Because the back would be difficult. I don't know how we sleep. We'd have to sleep on our side, and I'm not sure if I can commit to sleeping on one side for the rest of my life. I'll sleep on my back for the rest of if I had to. I'll sleep like a vampire if I have to, on my back. That's if need be. Shitting would be a problem. If it's like back-to-back, shitting would definitely be a problem. Because how are you gonna even sit on a toilet? But if you're side by side, you could kind of you could figure it out. Side by side, you could figure it out. Back to back, if you're sewn back to back together, it's very difficult to take a shit or a piss, I would assume. You're gonna have to modify the whole toilet seating arrangement. But who's gonna work on you taking a shit side by side or back to back? Well, we got bigger problems what happened to these retarded kids? That's many people wonder. I'm just wondering which would you rather choose? Again, sewn to a person or get a body part amputated? I'm gonna go with sew another person to me. Extra pair of hands around the house is nice. Sew a female right there. Sew a female next to me. I think we're good. I think that solves the whole, finding a lifelong lover, partnered situation. All that's done. Sew a person to yourself of your, favorite sex, whether it's opposite or same, whatever you do, and there you go. That's fucking sew a person. There you go. Sew a person to yourself. If you had to choose, it's the easy, obvious answer, I think. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe, oh my God, ladies and gents, can we take a moment and for realsies do something for real for a second? I just heard this beautiful, wonderful news that Joe Exotic, Tiger King, is married in prison, in jail. He's married to this dude, which is, that's fucking love is sweet, dude. Joe Exotic found love in prison. Can we hashtag free Joe Exotic? That's all I want to say about Joe Exotic. Because I remember just a few years ago when everybody was going through the pandy schmandy, one of the biggest joys of everybody's lives, one of those collective moments where we collectively as a mass, where everybody knew who Joe Exotic was, everybody knew Tiger King, everybody sat down and watched it, brought so many smiles, the plot, Karen Baskin, the drug-induced gayness, all of it, the Tigers, the rivalry, it's exciting. And to be honest with you, it's been a little bit of, some time has passed. I don't even know why he's in jail, to be honest with you. I think attempted or thought about murder, but did he murder? I don't think he murdered, right? He didn't kill anyone, right? Why is he in jail? Let the man be free. Hashtag fucking free Joe Exotic. I'm so happy that he's found somebody, brought many people joy and comfort. It was a wild series. I'd like to see more of it. And yeah, did he do anything worthy of being in jail for that long? How long has it been? He's already been in jail. He's done his time. He's a good fellow for the most part, right? Am I right? Everybody, I think let's hashtag free Joe Exotic. I just gut instinct, not knowing much about the case or what it entails, but just going from guts, all vibes, no facts, hashtag free Joe Exotic. I want to see a man be free. Is that too hard is that too big of an ask? Who do we got to go to? I am pleading to the highest levels of courts, high courts, courts that get high. I am also pleading to anybody who's, if you can get the word out, maybe I definitely don't have access to President Trump, but if you do, or somebody, maybe make a request. And yes, it's either bigger things, there's too many things that we got to tackle together, right? They're big things that take a long time that we can do together. That take a little bit longer. Conflicts, this, that, and the other global, all Middle East, Russia, Ukraine, now it's India, Pakistan. Who knows? People are always beefing. If the big tasks take a long time, I say knock a couple of the small tasks out the way, get the W's in, collectively feel good. Maybe more Tiger King, maybe Tiger King 2, maybe more tigers. Maybe he switches animals. Lion King. He fucking says, fuck you, tigers, and it's lions all day. Who knows? I just want to see him free. If somebody can we pardon him? Can Donald Trump, Prezi Trump, if by any chance you are watching this show for some odd reason, but then again, it's not so odd, is it? Because it happens to be JD Vance's favorite show. The Pope used to love it. Everybody, for the most part, huge, big show. It's a giant global sensation. So maybe you are watching this, and I would like to say, Prezi Trump, we can make it, the signage of the papers. I don't know what it takes, but maybe free Joe Exotic, that would be nice. Unless I'm completely missing something, that he's done something horribly wrong. He didn't kill anyone, right? I don't think he killed anyone, right? I don't think so. From my memory, I don't believe he's killed anyone. He may have thought about killing some people. And which one of you out there can say you've not thought about right there? So exactly, things I'm just saying, hashtag free Joe Exotic. Oh man, what else is going on in and around the world?
First, we gotta sit down and really play to find out if you're retarded or not. Are you a retard?
That game's gonna be huge, by the way. I'm so looking forward to that. Find out if you're retarded or not. Again, if there's a benefit to it, let's fucking call a spade a spade. If there's no benefits, then keep rolling through, baby. Do life. You only get one. The point is, I do think a lot of people have a lot of things these days. I don't know if it's any better or worse, but let's find out the facts. If anything isn't causing it that we could prevent it, that'd be nice. We could probably use less retardation by our own doing. I'm not saying get rid of, I want some sort of fucking eugenics program, getting rid of retards, because man, that's a slippery slope right there. I'm talking about a slippery slope and fucking piling people in trains and pushing the mentally retarded or the physically retarded off a cliff or something, because you gotta aim for the highest quality of man and woman out there and start producing really fine genetic specimens out there. But nonetheless, let's just figure out if it's a vaccine scare, if they're all good, then fucking keep it. Add more. Get 200 vaccines. I don't know. Let's find out the answers. Point is, Klaus Schwab just resigned, was maybe forced to resign due to allegations and amid rumors of misuse of resources, funds, and doing some potentially unethical moves at the World Economic Forum. He's resigned, And it's this one is also, you know, Klaus Schwab is I want you to eat the bugs, and if you eat the bugs, I get more money. Turn into a Russian accent for some reason. Turn more into Vlad than Klaus Schwab. I forget how he talks. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You must eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. I give you bugs. You eat the bugs, I get the money. We must close the gap between the rich and the poor. Das Guten eaten the bugs. The bugs are the good bugs. You must eat the bugs. We must get the gap between the rich and the poor closer. To close the gap between the rich and the poor. This Russian accent is coming in hard. I don't know why it's not turning German. Or it doesn't matter though. Let's just pretend he's Russian. Let's just pretend he's like Vladimir Putin's cousin or something. Doesn't matter. The point is that you must close the gap between the rich and the poor. Das Guten ist ein Guten, das ein Guten ist Volkswagenes. Arnold Schwarzenegger sagt, das ein Guten sind ich nicht ein Arzen, Uzen, ich nicht ein Uzen, Arzen, Schnitzelsen, Schnitz. Volkswagen, Uzebatzen, Izi, Uzen, Arzen, Izi, Arzen, Arz, Uzen, Schnitzel, Volkswagen, Bayern Munich Schnitzen, das sind Bundesligas, das sind Gutens. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that the Itzen, Atzen, Utzen, here's the thing, he's trying to close the gap between the rich and the you must eat the bugs, so that he can close the gap between the rich and the poor, okay? He's very rich and very influential, to say that. He's got his tentacles all over the place, selecting young influential people around the world in politics and media and all sorts of realms, and trying to, you know, help the one world order, the lizard movement, the global lizards are trying to, he's taken some funds for personal uses like massages. What, a fella can't get a massage? It seems a little bit out of the ordinary if you cannot get a little bit of the massage from the funding of the World Economic Forum. Hello, what are we doing here? If you cannot get a little bit of funding for the personal massage, das sind Guten, das sind ja. There it is, ja sind Guten, die Schnitzel, yes. Gotta get a little massage for the Führer, das sind Gusen, right there. You must close the gap between the rich and the poor. I'm rich. I like to stay rich. Tell others to not eat the meat. We must close the gap between the rich and the poor, and you must not have any CO2 emissions. We cannot all be in jets. We cannot all be flying around. We cannot all be flying around in the jets. Some of us are flying around in the jets, doing our very best to bring closer the gap that is between the rich and the poor. Was there any misusage of funds from the World Economic Forum? Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. Did I ask anyone of the employees to take out deposits on my behalf to use for a massage? Who knows? If you really looked into the matter, maybe I did that, maybe I didn't. Did I use influence to sit down with very, very highly influential people around the world, like prime ministers, like presidents, like people and other places of the power? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. All you need to do is to eat the bugs. You will have nothing and you will be happy. I will take all of this stuff that you have that is making you very, very unhappy. I will correct it all for myself and my group of cronies, da, And das is good. You close the gap. Not everyone can have access to means and resources. With great resources comes great responsibility. Some people are not capable of utilizing resources. You must have less so that everyone can have less except me, a select few others who know what is best for the global community. We must bring the world order closer into existence with one ruler at the top. Ideally, I'd like to be the ruler at the top. You don't know what is good for you. You can't afford to come to Davos in a fancy jet. Had you had the resources to get your private jet and fly to Davos and sit down and speak on behalf of humanity, perhaps you would have known what is best for humanity. I very, very deeply care about the poor. The poor must be brought closer to the rich. Not here at Davos, not anyone that's associated with us. We don't particularly want to associate with the poor. The poor are peasants who are lesser than and are not good enough to be within the vicinity. If you have any questions, you will hastily be removed from the facilities. Do not look into the spendings. Do not look at my ominous suit that looks like Darth Vader's suit. Do not worry about the power structure. Those on top know what's best for those on the bottom. Yeah? That is the program. That is all. We must bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. The poor are stupid. Lost, stupid, sickly people, the poor. Ugh. But we here in Davos want to bring them closer to the rich. Of course, we must do that by removing the resources that are out there so that everybody can have nothing except a select few. Once everyone has nothing and you have 15-minute cities and you are charged for the farts that you let out of your body, and we count how many kilograms of meat you consume. Should you even be allowed to consume the meat is really the big question. Once we collect all of the land and monopolize it so that you can't afford to buy the land, why would you ever worry about buying the land? Everybody's got nothing. Everybody is so happy. Look at all the happiness that is about to be perpetuated or distributed rather throughout the world. Yeah, that is good. That is good. Now off to my massage.